I'm Ted King, the guru and double OG of boxing. All right, back again. Now, can we agree that boxing is a business that every fighter pretty much is his own CEO? They may have people giving them advice, they may have promoters, etc. They have to pay all of these guys, by the way. And these guys, well, everybody's getting paid. Okay, how they distribute the money, it varies from situation to situation. But let's keep this, kind of on the principle of a fighter making his money, and then of course distributing it to his trainers, his handlers, etc. People who he has in his entourage that are working for him or her. There's a thing called outpricing, right? For example, if a person says, you know what, I got a car I want to sell, I really want to keep the car. I know I got a for sale sign on it. It says it's for sale, but you know what? I know the car is worth $20,000, but I'm going to be asking for $50,000. And if the fool takes it, oh well, okay. But the car is only worth what it's worth, even if you're going to give me more. But I want you to tell me no because I don't want to sell it. And that's what's pretty much going on. You don't know greatness when greatness is beating up on somebody. Oh, he dropped him. You don't know. It's when you get dropped, when greatness gets dropped and gets back up. Okay, and then maybe greatness gets shook and then overcomes that and wins the fight. That's when you know greatness. Or if greatness loses and comes back and wins the next time out. You see, that's what greatness is. Okay, all this winning stuff, you can't determine that, by greatness by that. You determine greatness by what greatness does after the defeat. Okay, after defeat. After defeat, what does greatness do? That's how you determine. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, all those who are listening.
Next on our pound for pound list, the monster, Naoya Inoue. Number 2 pound for pound, Naoya the Monster Inoue is one of the most fundamental sound fighters, if not the most fundamentally sound fighter in the world, with power and the perseverance of the all-time greats in the sport. And now a 2-time undisputed champion of the world at bantamweight and super bantamweight after stopping Marlon Tapales in the 10th round. With a height of 5 feet, 5 inches, and a reach of 67 inches, fighting out of the orthodox stance. He carries a boxing record of 26 fights, with 26 wins, and 23 wins by KO. He says he will campaign at the super bantamweight division in 2024. And wants to show his strength in the division. He said after the victory that he can't talk about the upcoming bout, scheduled for May because of the negotiations currently taking place. There is no mistake about it, if Naoya Inoue learns to speak English, he will be an international superstar and is heir apparent to the pound for pound crown in the sport of boxing. In an article W published 13/10, December 2023. By Cameron Temple, Temple writes, Inoue began his career fighting at light flyweight and has gone on to become a 4-weight world champion as well as a pound-for-pound ranked fighter. On Tuesday, the man from Japan added to his legacy by knocking out Marlon Tapales in the 10th round of their clash to become the undisputed super bantamweight world champion. This comes just a year after Inoue won the undisputed bantamweight titles when he KO'd Paul Butler. Former 2-weight world champion Cal Frampton, however, thinks Inoue has gone as far as he can go in terms of weight classes. We here at KingmyTKING TV, we think there's talks on an Inoue versus Davis fight. Double OG, Ted King, thinks that Inoue should concentrate on being the best version of what he is rapidly becoming. If he learns to speak English, he will be as big as that other Japanese combat superstar, Bruce Lee. Boxing News reports, what's the point of facing a 147-pounder if you're now campaigning at 154? By Ortiz Jr. fighting a welterweight, he's delaying the inevitable. If he's too big to make 154 without draining himself to the point where he gets that health condition again, he needs to move up again. Vergil Ortiz Jr. was supposed to challenge WBA secondary welterweight champion Eimantas Stanionis last July, but he reportedly fainted while trying to make weight. Ortiz hasn't fought since August of last year, as he's missed a lot of time with COVID and a muscle tissue problem. He had a long case of COVID and knows how that'll affect him long term. Hopefully, Ortiz Jr. doesn't drain himself to the point where he passes out or has another reoccurrence of rhabdomyolysis while getting down in weight for the contest. Source: Ortiz Jr. vs. Lawson. Start time, TV schedule. Ring Walks Boxing News 24, https://www.boxingnews24.com/2024/01/ Vergil Ortiz Jr. faces Frederick Lawson on January 6 on DAZN/. Both boxers are determined to win this fight and bring home a title. With months of training and preparation, they have left no stone unturned to ensure they are at their best on fight night. By Keith Idec, published Friday, January 5, 2024, 4:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Vergil Ortiz Jr. stepped on the scale and made weight Friday for the first time in 17 months. Ortiz officially weighed in at a career-high 156 pounds. The contracted limit for his 12-round fight Saturday night against Frederick Lawson at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. Chicago's Lawson stepped on the Nevada State Athletic Commission's scale at 152.4 pounds for what is officially a middleweight match. Before Friday, Ortiz had not weighed in higher than 147 pounds for any of his first 19 professional fights. The 25-year-old Ortiz has moved up from the welterweight division to junior middleweight because he and his team determined that he could no longer safely squeeze his 5'10" frame down to the welterweight limit of 147 pounds.